Yep, gotta go. Top of the morning, afternoon, or evening, folks. I hope you're well. Hope you can hear me okay. This is Check-In Tuesday. The purpose of this is to make sure that we all have an opportunity to speak to each other, check in with those around you. It's designed for crew wellness. We may have a couple of people joining us here, but can you all hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up. I see a couple of waves there. Andrew, hello. Captain Trav, Crew Wellbeing Hub joined. If you do a request to join there, Crew Wellbeing Hub, that would be awesome. If not, I can send you an invite to join as well. So it's a beautiful day here, and we're going to be talking about some really interesting things. Tessa won't be able to join us. Hello.
Hi, yeah, that worked. Hi, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you very well. It's
Oh,
perfect.
fantastic. I was a little stressed then because I had my headphones in and I'm like, I can't hear anyone else. Like,
Yeah, you never know how these things work out, right? Like, always have to test.
well, that's how I got started. I accidentally pressed live and I was kind of looking at my phone. I'm like, what's that red thing in the top corner? I'm like, oh, live. Oh, hello.
Oh,
How
there
are
we
you?
go. That's exactly what you wanted to do, I guess so. Perfect.
Yeah. We're going to have Captain Scott join and we may even have um, Yacht Scuba. Hello, Captain Scott.
Hi,
How you
Scott.
doing, guys?
Excellent. Yourself, mate?
Good, man. Good, man.
How long
You
have
have
we
a
got you
great
for
day.
today? I know it's a busy day.
We'll see. Plane just landed, so when they're on the way back, I'll have to jump off. I'll
No
politely
stress.
excuse myself.
Give us a head. And I'd
Lucky
love
enough.
I'd love to introduce you. Is it Janette, the correct pronunciation, or Janet?
Um, it's Janette, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to be
that's
Janette.
special here. But I will react to Janet as well. Whatever works is okay.
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 Quick funny story to start off our Check-In Tuesday. My wife's name is Janette.
Yeah,
But it's actually
cool.
Janet, and all of her friends call her Janet. And Captain Scott, when I introduce her, I'm like, it's Janette, and she's like, it's Janet. I'm like, well, it just sounds nicer. Jeanette's like they've got this French, you know.
Let me add
It's
a bit
really
of a
funny.
flair there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know my wife's name almost, you know.
Yeah. It's a, yeah.
Anyway, Captain Scott, this is wonderful. You've heard of the Crew Well Hub, the Crew Wellbeing Hub?
Not until you shared it with me, but I did. I'm hearing more and more mental health awareness stuff for crew and just in society in general, which I think is fantastic. I think it's well needed.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a lot of people that are join. Yacht Scuba Jeff, I'm here. Just need to figure out how to join you guys. All right, Jeff, you have to do it. If you can hear me, mate, you have to do it from an iPad or an iPhone. You can't do it from a
Yes.
desktop because the Instagram live stream feature doesn't work. We've had
Yeah.
Scott and I have had our challenges, haven't we, mate?
Yeah. More than they know.
So I'm going to send you an invite to join the Captain Jeff, and then see how you go. But while we're waiting, Janette, tell us about it. Tell us the story. You're in Dominican Republic now or in Florida?
Yes, I am in Dominican Republic now. I'm at home, enjoying the weather. It's nice here. We get a little bit of rain, but it's nice and sunny. The waves have been actually good. I haven't surfed as much as I would like to, but yeah, I'm
Nice.
here.
And
Um,
and you had Semana Santa. They just celebrated Happy Easter. Happy Semana
yeah,
Santa.
it was busy, I guess, with that. I stayed home, so I never went anywhere from where I live, which is great because during the Semana Santa, there's so much traffic around. So I saw some videos of that, and there was like, okay, it's good to stay here, because yeah, it was insane. I think
Yeah, it's
they
really
really
interesting, Captain
celebrate Easter.
Scott. Dominicans for some reason it's a very Christian island, 50% Catholic, 50% Protestant. That doesn't leave room for much else.
No.
250s, 250s is 100. So the island, and it's a very happy, positive party island. So you come to Semana Santa weekend, and the country just goes crazy. The cities are empty. They go to the beach, they sit on the beach, they drink their rum and eat their beautiful food and just music and dance. And the next day it looks like a
Nice.
war zone. Look, absolutely like a war zone, you know. But
Yeah,
they
you need
have a good
recovery
time though.
from that.
Is that correct there, Janette?
Yeah, I mean here where I am, it's quite small, so it was fine here. But yeah, I think outside it gets pretty crazy at times. Everybody's going to places.
Hey, Cap.
How we doing,
Hey
sir?
guys, thank
Hi.
you for allowing me to join you guys.
Pleasure, mate.
Yes.
You motivate me every day when I see your runs and I see the little, I see the
Nice.
beast, I see the distances, and I'm like, Janet, this is Jeff, Captain Jeff.
Hey
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
guys.
It's been, I can't remember how long ago, but I know we've met a few times
Oh,
way back when, maybe Sunrise Marina or something, maybe 15, 20 years ago. Something
dude, it's
like
been a long time. I think I've known you for a long time. We've been following each other. So yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Good to
but
see you, man.
yeah, good to see you. Nice to meet everybody. It's good to see
Yeah.
everybody.
Likewise, mate. Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
to connect finally. I keep trying to, get a hold of, or not get a hold of you, but I'm like, all right, one day I'm going to meet this guy. And now I'm in Seattle. I'm like, just going to meet him, I guess. Guess we
You
got to
got to
figure
come
out
to
how
the
to.
Bahamas. This is my home base. You got to come back to the Bahamas and join the rest of us in the
Yeah,
yachting
man.
world.
Oh man, I see the tree. I see the
Yeah.
trees in the background. I'm like, all I've got is Maine, and
The good old
oh,
Atlantis. This is where I'm at right now. Is
Oh,
in
really?
we're at Atlantis here. We got guests flying in on Thursday, so we're here at Atlantis
Oh,
Marina. So,
nice. Well,
oh,
hmm
cool.
maybe we'll see you down the line. We're in Norman's right now. So,
ooh, nice. Yeah, I
yeah.
hope stay safe because the weather's coming. Come Thursday, it's gonna change. So,
Yeah. We'll still be
no.
here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nice.
Anyway, Jeanette, I wanted to just start with you because Crew Wellbeing Hub. Tell us about it. And Jeff, this is Jeanette with the Crew Wellbeing Hub. You're living in Dominican Republic on the north coast in
Yes.
Cabarete. You're a surfer, and
Yes.
you had good vibes when you came to a crew mental health event in Palm Beach Boat Show. That's how we met.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's how we met. And it's a really nice seminar. So I was really happy to meet you, to see all the people over there. You know, you follow people online and follow their content, but it's different matter to actually meet everybody. So that was really nice. So thanks inviting me to join today, first of all. And yeah, so I've been a crew since 2013, so for a while. And I've been like on different boats. I started on like passenger ships, like big ones between Estonia and Finland. I'm from Estonia
Okay.
originally. And yeah, and then I got into yachting like later on, 2019, and started on a sailing boat. And then further on, I did like motorboats. And I've been lucky enough never to actually permanently full-time job, like worked
You say
permanently
lucky
full-time.
enough, wait till
Yeah,
you got
yeah, I
wait till you
think
got a
so
family
because
and
it's
kids and rent to pay. You gotta have that permanent,
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like, I've had like contracts and like I had like short term, like permanent contracts where I was full time employed, but I just like to have the balance of having
Yeah,
like life outside of both. And that's why I say like I've been lucky enough to
yeah.
manage to make it work like that. And yeah, somewhere along the lines, I went back to university. I got a degree in psychology. And then
Oh
after
wow.
that, I went to work on a boat again, like on a boat that I was previously involved in. And during that time, I also like did year-long training in coaching and counseling.
Yeah. So
And yeah, now I'm taking my experience and trying to combine it with my education and training and just like try to talk about more crew mental health because it's a very specific environment, isn't it?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, it is.
and provide like support to those who need because it's also very difficult to explain the life on a boat to someone who has never experienced that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of our job's psychology, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Captain Jeff and Scott? I mean, we end up the things that come via our bridge are pretty out there a lot of times.
I
Yeah.
mean, the biggest part of our job is dealing with the psychology of your crew. And,
Yeah.
like everybody's like, oh, it's so great to be a yacht captain. You get to drive a yacht. I'm like, that's the easiest part of the
That's the
job
fun
is
part.
driving the
Yeah,
yacht, like
yeah.
it's dealing with the personalities and making sure everybody gets along and making sure everybody they has what they need to do their job and, all that stuff. So, I
And
mean,
do we ever get it right? Honestly, Jeff. I mean, for me, it's fluid. Like, I mean, I have good crews and good moments, and then I have bad time or tough times where I've got to rebuild and I've got to relook at it because in my experience, anyway, it can break so quick. Like within a week, from a good
Hmm.
crew to some
I mean,
rumors started.
all it takes is that one person. You get that one person on your crew, and the whole crew just disintegrates. And also, and the good thing is, the flip side is, all it takes is one person to turn a bad crew into a
Hmm.
good crew. You know, you get that one good person that just sort of creates that bond that seals everybody together, and all of a sudden everybody comes together, and it's amazing. You know, so
Yeah.
and it's really it's just that easy. It's that easy to crumble it down, and it's that easy to build it up. So you're exactly right. It is fluid. It goes both ways, up and down. So
Wow. And then, so then on you, Jeff, as well, quickly. Sorry, I know you're going to depart, maybe Scott, but, you know, how do you look for crew then? I mean, you've got crew agents and all that, because I'm going through it unbridled. We're planning for our summer ahead. We've got about 4 or 5 positions, and I'm scratching my head going, I've got a good network. I can find crew, but how do I build from what I've got, the good
Hmm.
culture I've got, you know?
I mean, these days it's tough, you know, because you know everybody wants to be on that busy charter boat until
Yeah.
they've been on that busy charter boat. You know, and if you've been a captain on that busy charter boat, you
Yeah.
realize what you sacrifice, and everybody thinks it's for the money. And you know, I mean, I just came off a busy charter boat of 4 years, and I mean, it's exhausting, and
Yeah.
you don't get any time. Yeah, you make money, but at the end of the end of the time, you're just like, you know, so you gotta balance everything out and stuff. And you know, with private programs, there's benefits and stuff, and you just what I always find is you just have to be upfront and honest with crew. And no matter what, you can be upfront and honest, and when they step on board, they're going to have it in their mind that it was one way or the other. You know, like
Yeah.
Ah,
I had a stewardess on my last boat, and I was so upfront and honest. I said, it's a soul stew position. It is not easy. It's going to be tough, but you get lots of time in between trips. And even then, she was like, you lied to me, blah, blah. And I was like, I was straight up and told you that this was a tough position and everything, you
yeah.
know? So it doesn't matter what you do. You just can't win sometimes, you know? That's just
Yeah.
how it is.
I remember
So,
on someone's Facebook post, they said, "Oh, hardworking, willing to do any role, blah blah blah." And I said, "Okay, cool. I've got this job. You're going to do crew cook across the Atlantic. Are you keen?" They're like, "Yeah, I got it." And this is not unbridled. It was like 8 years ago, and then all of a sudden, like day 2 into the cross, they're like I'm really not managing this cooking well. I don't know. I'm like, but look at the post. This is the post. Like, this is the email. That's the job. That's the job. What do you mean you don't like the job? You know, which is all right, but you know.
Oh man,
yeah.
And
that's a good one.
yeah. So, what about you, Captain Scott? Where would you kind of be looking out for good crew?
I'd hit my network first because at least you can have some kind of qualifiers out there, and if you have an idea gauge of who you have there, you know, you got an idea who the personalities are and who needs to fit where and what, you know. But that's generally where I start first, and you know, then it goes out further and further. Then you start casting a wider net, and the wider net sometimes. You get a lot of people, but a lot of times you don't. It's harder to filter through. So, a lot of times, if we get the right heads of department in place, I let them kind of decide. They do 99% of it, and you know, I always check when they have their CVs and stuff. I look and just see if I see any red flags in it, or see any. You know, if it's somebody I know, like you or Jeff or somebody. Hey, what's the real scoop with this person, you know, because you're not going to see that stuff on the CV. No one's going to put anybody
Yeah,
that's going to talk bad about them, you know. So references can be kind of hit or miss, you know. It's better to call around, and with those captains groups a lot of times you can post somebody in there and say, hey, anybody have any background on this? And
yeah,
that's been helpful with stuff like that. And the word of mouth stuff I think is probably the best. The agents, I've gotten a mixed bag from the agents and stuff. I've gotten 50-50. I've gotten people that we did a background check after, and I'm not going to name
yeah.
the agency or anything, but they came back pretty bad.
Hmm.
The crew,
Wow.
they find the, and it was a couple, and I asked the guy that I was working for. I said, well, which one is it? And they said, oh, it's both. And I was like, anything within 5 years? And they said, yeah, within 2 years. And some of them were like
Some
um,
serious ones.
pretty hefty, you know, like, you know, alcohol related
Yeah,
violence, you know, and arrests. It's like, oh man, I've been sleeping with these people 10 feet away
Yeah.
from me, and they were having drinks and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, that you know, because they worked very hard.
Yeah.
And they were good. They did a great job, but we just couldn't keep them on just
Yeah.
because of
Fair
that.
enough.
You know, that's a liability.
So what about, I mean, Jeanette, from a screening perspective, a lot of companies are now doing these psychological analysis or surveys. Is that something that you would recommend captains to kind of engage in to screen crew better? Like we know references, and the other thing too for people out there listening is when an agent calls you for a reference for a crew, you're going to be as honest as you can, but you try
Hmm.
not to badmouth any crew. When a captain calls you or a chief officer calls you, it's 1-to-1. It's a straight. This is the truth, in my
Yeah,
experience, anyway. Caps,
yeah,
you know, a
yeah,
lot of times a
most
cap calls,
definitely.
if Jeff calls me, say, "What?" I said, "He's cool, he's great, but here's some issues or whatever."
Yeah,
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I always say is like, look, this is my experience. This is how they did for me. And how they
yeah,
do for me may not be how they do for you or for the
yeah.
next one, because
True.
every boat, every scenario, every situation is so different. And their personal life might be different how they worked on my boat, but how they work on your boat or the next
Hmm.
boat, you know, because
Yeah, true.
they might have a good personality and a good personal history going into my boat, but yet when they get onto your boat, all of a sudden something in their personal background or whatever goes wrong. Maybe their grandmother's sick or their dad, or you know, you never
Yeah,
know. And then and that will affect their personal stuff, and so that'll take over into their work ethic and stuff. So you know, and you don't know that, and that's the thing. I always say,
Yeah.
you know, like this is what I think. You speak to them and you tell me what you think. You know, so.
yeah, yeah. Try them out. That's what a trial for. And Jeanette, this is tough. You've got three captains here that all align, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to chatting to
What do
you.
you think?
The
I do want to know
gauntlet.
your opinion from a psycho. And congratulations on the degree. A psychologist, that's
Very
impressive,
nice.
and as a
Oh,
crew
Mhm.
member
thanks.
too.
Yeah, but
Um,
there's like so much, like there's like you could go on and study that endlessly. So I did like a science of bachelor of science degree, and I mean like I would love to study further, but I really really don't like academia. Like I really dislike academia
yeah,
as an industry. It's just horrible. So like I'm there in between. Like I would like to do it further, but yeah. I mean, with screenings, I don't actually have a lot of experience or like, yeah, I haven't encountered that a lot. So I don't really know what kind of like screening do they do and what kind of like input they give for you guys, for example, if you're looking for crew, right? But I agree with what Jeff said that it was Jeff, right?
yeah,
Yeah, what you said that it really depends on the person and the moment of their life as well, because like they can do one in one kind of program. For example, it's a private program and it's different compared to charter, right?
mm,
Or whatever is going on in their lives, whatever other crew is around. So you never really know before you try. And then like if you have like more than one point of reference how someone has performed in the past, I think that's like that might be a good indicator. But I am very much like a personal, like I have a personal approach to each individual and situational as well. So people like, they act differently in different situations, and two different people act differently in the same situation. So you never
Hmm.
know until you have all the factors there. And like depends, I don't really know what the screenings are like. And I mean, I guess it can be like useful input for sure,
yeah.
but it
Well,
depends on the
it got me a
questionnaire.
job. I'll tell you a quick story. So an owner called up and said, "Cap, I want to interview you." I said, "No problem." He said, "Where are you?" He said, "South Africa." So I was blessed. He flew me to South Africa, to Johannesburg, to his farm, to his big like company. He owned a beef company, and he had a human resource department. And before I could even like really talk much with him, he's like, "I want you to go down and see the company's psychologist to do a test." And I'm like, this is like 15 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. And I'm like, I'm in trouble here. This is same guy with a job, not a hope. That's what I'm thinking. And they did the test, and it was like, must have been like 12 pages, And
Wow.
then it was a social time. And the next day, I remember getting he got the results, the principal, the owner. And he's like, your results came in, and I'm like, yeah, all right, well, it's been a pleasure. It's just been nice to meet you and the family, and I apologize, and, like, thanks for the trip. And he's like, You know what stood out is that one of your assessments is that you'll always gather all the information you can, but you'll at the very end you'll make your own decision. And he goes, "That's why I want to give you the job." And I'm like, "Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Oh,
Oh, let's
Yeah.
get ready to test it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it."
nice.
Yeah,
But
that's
there's
that's
also companies
amazing.
like Sage Seas that do these, and there's different companies now that are starting this in yachting. And because we don't have human resource departments on boats, it's Caps, Scott, Jeff, me,
Yeah.
many other different caps, and we're trying to figure out using our experience
You
to
are
make
you
good
are the human
decisions.
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to look for tools now to make a better decision, and that's
Yeah.
like I'm looking at employing my second 19-year-old female in the last 12 months, and that's the biggest worrying employment I have because of the trauma that's in the industry and also the support that I want to offer from a professional aspect. And that's why I'm like, all right, crew, here we go. We're bringing in junior crew because I like that. I like developing junior crew and then they can branch out into the industry. But as a captain, it's a worry because they're not used to yachting. This is a stressful environment. It doesn't matter how many times I say you need support ashore. I'm here to
Hmm.
help. You know what I mean? It's how do we deal
Yeah.
with it? How do we pick the right people culturally?
Hmm.
Yeah.
You-
How
the-
like what has actually worked for you as captains? What has worked well? Like do you like, it,
Oh, word of mouth, like people like Captain Jeff or Captain Scott. When you need someone, you reach out. But the problem with our systems, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, is like we rely on our heads of department also to pick or crew agents to pick. So you want to trust and outsource because you don't also want to be the one always making every single decision
Hmm.
on the boat because you got too much to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you gotta, that department has to work and live with that person, 20 hours a day sometimes. So, you know, it's important too, the interdepartment exchange too. So it's really, you have to be dynamic, and I like what she said, where Jeanette said, where, the personalities of each position in their time. And, to piggyback on what Jeff said, where, it's what works for me right now, 2 years from now, because I've had crew members that came back 2 years later and worked for me, and they they weren't really into it anymore, and they were
Yeah,
just kind of doing something. They needed a job. So I think each personality and each time is that really has to be recognized, and really to do a deep dive in their personality and stuff at that time. Because I've had people that they were great, and then we left the dock and it was a complete disaster.
yeah.
You know,
yeah. I
so
don't know. I've had good luck with people returning. For some reason, because I'm encouraging them to go. That's the other thing,
yeah,
Scott. I'm like, go get another job, please,
Yeah,
by all
yeah,
yeah,
means, because you're going to earn more money. You're going to have a
yeah.
better position. I think there's that saying, isn't it? The best way to get a pay rise or promotion is to leave, go to another
Hmm.
company. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because internal promotions take time.
Yeah.
see you guys later. I got to jump off.
See you,
Yeah.
See you
Cap.
guys.
See you.
Nice seeing you
Bye.
guys.
Thanks.
Nice
Thanks,
Yes.
meeting you.
Scott.
Bye bye.
See you.
Appreciate
Bye.
it.
So, yeah.
Oh,
So,
that was mate, that was commitment, wasn't it? Captain Scott jumping on with charter
yeah, that
guests
was
coming
great.
up.
Nice.
He
So,
must have needed his check-in as well.
mhm. So-
Anyway, I want to talk about you, Captain Jeff. So you're in Albany now,
no, we're in Atlantis here
Atlantis.
in Nassau. Yeah, we're in Atlantis. So I've guests coming Thursday. So I'm just trying to figure out. I've got guests coming. I've got to shuffle marinas because one marina is full and I can't stay here. And I've got guests arriving at 3 different times, and the weather is not cooperating the best. So I've got to figure something out for that day. And so it never quite goes completely as smooth as planned. But that's just yachting. That's the way it goes, right?
It
So
is.
that's.
And
I'm,
did I
I'm
see online you got a new ride?
yeah. I took over on Ariva just over a month ago, so and I've been actually really blessed that the crew that was on board was really great. So the chief stewardess was hired just before I came on, but the rest of the crew have been really fantastic. So
Awesome.
yeah, they're really good, and I'm really happy. Yeah, I had one crew member try the grass is always greener, and he was gone for literally one day and turned around and came right back. So we got we got
Yeah.
we got pretty lucky. So he's happy to be back, and the owners, I've had them on twice now, and they're really nice people and stuff. So it's
Cool.
it's a really nice program. It's a good ride, and yeah, but it's a lot. So you got to step in and try to figure stuff out and stuff. So yeah, but
What size is it? What size river?
it's a 110, so it's the 110 Dulce Vita. So it's a nice boat. She's got lots of power. I mean, we cruise it. We were doing 15, 17 knots cruising down from Harbor Island yesterday, so it's nice. So
Wow. And which
yeah.
way do you go from harbour? You can go all the way through the Warwick Wells and all that, or
No. So we went out the backbone and then just around the north side and just
around?
straight in the west side of the harbor and came up and docked in Atlantis. So yeah.
Oh,
So
beautiful, mate.
mhm.
Tell me about
So
this running. I tried to open your website today. I didn't actually get around to it. But tell me
uh,
about your journey, your running, because I think it's great.
it's just something I started years ago, and it just kind of whenever I get a chance in between trips and stuff, and it really is something that I do so I can kind of eat whatever I feel like. This is really how that works. It's I mean, I'll be turning 50 in June,
Well
and
done.
it's just something that literally I force myself to get up and do. I try to do it a couple times a week if I can, but I take the time to listen to my body. So like I was running along the beach 2 weeks ago and my right calf got a little sore. So I'm like, hey, I realize I'm not 20 years old anymore. I
Yeah,
can't just jump out of bed and do that. So I had to take, a little bit of time off and stuff. But it's just, I do it because I know it helps keep me healthy, it helps keep me a little bit younger, and allows me to eat probably stuff I shouldn't eat, even though I know,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
and, it just gives you that little extra energy on the days that I get up and I go for a run. I have more energy throughout the day,
Oh,
and
you,
stuff.
you can see it
So,
on your face too, mate. Like when I see those
no.
pictures, I'm like, he's got it, mate. He's got that running. When you finish a good run, you're like, cool, I'm
Mm,
ready for anything mentally as
yeah.
well.
Yeah. So sometimes I do it in the morning. The other day I did it in the evening and actually had a faster time, which I was a little surprised. But yeah, and by no means is it easy. It is a struggle every
Yeah.
morning. It's like you have to battle yourself, but you just have to get up and be like, look, just do it, get it over with, and then it's done, and then you can continue on with your day, and that's all it is. And the other day that I did my afternoon run, I did get up in the morning and it was just pouring rain, and I was like, all right. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it at the end of the day. And even though I'm tired and I know it's the end of the day, it's like, look, you just do it. It's like a half an hour, just get it done and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I've had thoughts of like turning it into a brand or whatever, but I do it personally just to keep myself healthy and
Well,
and
mate, it helps. It motivates me, mate. I can tell you that much. I see it and I'm like, all right, 5Ks, here we go. I'm going to challenge ourselves if you guys are comfortable. There's a lady called Terry Jardim who'd like to join. Is that okay with you both?
Sure.
I usually I have, I don't know her. We'll see how she's going. Maybe she has good information. If it starts getting negative, then I'll remove her from the group if that's okay. You know?
Sounds good.
Let's see. Maybe she does join, maybe she doesn't join. I just got a request to invite or something. So let's see. But hello, Terry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Terry. Yourself?
Good, thank you. I'm from South Africa and
Okay.
I'm not in the yachting industry, but my son is.
Oh,
So just
wow.
all the information that you have is just that I'm informed and follow and so on.
Oh,
So I think,
fantastic. You're very
yeah. So
technically savvy
sorry.
there, Terry. It took me years to figure out this live thing, and you're ready. Your request to join. You're ready to go.
Awesome.
So
Thank you for having me, but you can take me off. I'm just doing I'm doing chores around the home and listening to the information, which is so useful,
Oh, wonderful.
and just enjoying your live every time.
Oh, I'll just try. Like I say, I've done this for 25 years. And your son, how long's your son been in yachting for?
He hasn't landed a job as yet.
No.
He did his course last year,
Yeah.
and he's been applying and whatever have you. So we're keeping the hope up, and hopefully he lands something.
And then you get him out of
Nice.
the house finally. Is that the
Yeah.
plan?
Hey, Liam, I'm
So,
sorry, but I've got to jump off because I've got to make a phone call here with my owner. So I do apologize. I've got to jump off. But it was
Go for
amazing
it, brother.
speaking with you
We're gonna
guys.
touch yeah, we're gonna touch base more, mate. I really appreciate your time, Cap.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you again soon. So
See you, mate.
Bye.
awesome. Thank
thanks.
you. Have a good
Bye
one and
bye.
carry on running.
No, but you're and this is we're working with Janette from, I still can't get it right. It's Janette.
Yeah, Janette. It's so the
Janette.
Yeah.
J in Estonian would be spelled like Y in English, I
Ah,
guess.
Janette.
Yeah.
But why
Yeah.
with an A? Why not with an E?
Sorry?
Is it Janetta or Janette?
Like E,
Yeah,
sorry. Oh.
Janette. Okay, Janette. So
Janette.
Janette is a psychologist and has a company called the Crew Wellbeing Hub, which is quite big
Oh,
on
yes.
social media and all that. And we do a lot of crew wellness talks in yachting. The purpose of Check-in Tuesday is to reach people like yourselves and Janette to communicate that the yachting industry, it's not that bad. There's concerns and you need to
Oh,
be
it's
aware of
Yeah.
amazing
them.
actually, right?
Yeah.
It's
But
like it's a great job. Like,
yeah. Like, I mean, I've done it 25 years and I've got a
yeah.
beautiful wife and two beautiful kids, and it's allowed me to travel. It's provided for my home and my family. And I hear all these negatives about it, and I'm like, you know what? No, let's change the narrative here. There's good people in this industry that are here to
Yeah,
help, and
100%.
you just met two lovely captains that I'd recommend, any crew work with, and I think that's the point of this. But your son, how long since he's been looking for, and what challenges is he facing?
It's been he did his course in Cape Town. I'm not too sure if you're aware of the Super Yacht Academy,
Yep.
and he did all the courses and the medicals, and he has everything in place. He did it at the end of April, so he missed the Mediterranean. Everybody, I think, had got employed by the time he had gotten off the course.
Gotcha.
And so he's got a sister in, I think it is in Adelaide,
Australia, yeah.
um, Australia. So we kind of looking at trying to get him there and maybe doing a bit of dock walking, but it's programs like this or your live that kind of gives me, all right, this isn't right, or this he should do, or that he can pursue, and then we sit down and discuss it. But he's been to or he's belongs to quite a number of platforms, so he applies online and we've made him safe, so he's working at the moment, but they are aware that as soon as he does land a job or whatever have you. So in the meantime, he's saving to go and do a bit of dock walking and or be present somewhere in the Mediterranean.
Yeah,
Reason
true.
being is he's got a citizenship where he doesn't need a visa
Oh, perfect.
in the
That's perfect.
Mediterranean.
So he doesn't need the Schengen.
No, he doesn't need the Schengen visa. So yes, so he's proactive, but we haven't landed anything, or he hasn't landed
Oh, well, make sure he
anything.
reaches out to me and introduces himself and send me a DM. And then what I usually do, I do help a lot of crew, even just like I can brainstorm with them different options and different ports to go to and timing. But don't let the dog walking, be a fear factor, because I employ like right now I've got 3 crew that are going through visa applications to look at employment with me and other vessels. So it's
And where are you based?
Seattle. Unbridled's based in Seattle at the moment. We're going to Alaska. So we're
Oh
looking for a
my.
junior. We're looking for a junior crew member. Our I think 2 years ago, our deckhand who was green is now experienced. He's got a year or two, and he's developing really well. He's staying with the program, and we're looking for a new junior deckhand. We're looking for a new junior stewardess, because I really like to get people who, like your son, have committed, spent their money, spent their time, done their courses, because there's a motivating factor that comes with that.
Mm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like they're
He's
making
he's 20.
sacrifices.
Yeah, he's 22. So
Yep.
I can see there's a certain amount of maturity from 19 and him being working for himself the past 2 years. I think he's more now ready than he was a year ago or 2 years ago.
Hey Tessa, how are you?
Hello. How are you? I'm
Hi.
Hi,
good,
hi,
thank you.
This is Tessa. What was your name again? Where were we?
Terry.
It was Terry. Terry. This is Terry.
Terry
She's a
and
mom.
Tessa.
Terry and Tessa and Janette.
Terry and
Uh,
Tessa.
Terry's a mother who's got a son who's looking for a job in yachting, and he's done all his courses and he's ready to go. So we're going to try and help this young
Oh,
man. Are we
cool.
allowed to say the name on live? Has he got a name or a nickname?
Cameron. Cameron.
Cameron. Beautiful name.
Cameron.
What's your
Thank you.
advice, Tessa, to Cameron? Because you know this South Africa role, looking for jobs.
Yes. Guess you just got to put yourself out there. I
Yeah.
mean, you've just got to try. I mean, everyone didn't
You're
hear back.
breaking
You've
up.
just got to continue, continue setting CVs, continue talking to people.
But careful of the scams too, though, Terry.
Yeah.
Careful of the
Cameron.
scams. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
No.
need, yeah, because there's a couple of people, even Tessa and I talked about this recently, that these scams,
Mm.
it looks good, even not too good or too bad, but you better verify it. So have Cameron reach out to me or a crew agent or someone, or Tessa or an industry professional, even yourself, Janette, so we can clarify it's a good job. But Janette, what about your
Absolutely.
advice?
Thank you. Thank
What's your
you.
advice, Janette, for Cameron, young Cameron?
You
Don't
know,
do it. From a
I think
psychological
it's
point of view, don't do it.
no.
Stay at
No,
home.
it's
Look
not.
after your
Like
mother.
no, it's like I said, like it's a great job. I mean, like I think probably all three of us and the other captains who joined, like we've been to great places and we met great people and you get to do these things that most people don't get to do. Like
Mm.
you are going to Alaska again and like how I have friends who are in the industry and they have been to like Greenland and Iceland and like Svalbard or Antarctica, whatever. Like this is not something people usually get to do. So it's like a great industry, but I mean, it is coming with a great effort, right? So you need to be
Yeah.
ready for that. It does require work, and yeah, putting yourself out there, making contacts, day working, I think is pretty good to start off with because as soon as you get any references, even from day working, it just helps you connect you to the network. But yeah, pretty
Absolutely.
much the same.
So,
Reaching
so
out, right? Reaching out to either captains and see around who are like approachable like Liam you are, right? So
yeah.
doing these little things,
Well,
I
I have to
think
give
stays
back.
off.
It's my lunchtime, and I'm like between 12 and 1 Eastern Standard Time. I can make it. You know what I mean? I've got a busy day, but I'm like, I'll skip a lunch. It's
Thank,
good for me anyway.
thank
Which,
you.
which,
Thank you. We
so
appreciate you.
no problem. And Janette, just so you're aware, Tessa, Janette's a psychologist who's just got a degree, worked in yachting on and off, lives in Cabarete in the north
Amazing.
coast of Dominican, is a surfer. So she's coming from a psychological point of view, her advice.
Mm.
Yours, and we even just talked about this recently, is coming from a dietitian perspective, correct, Tessa?
Yes.
So
And
Cameron's going to be exposed to a lot of junk food,
Yeah.
so much.
He's going to love it, but it's not going to be good for him.
Exactly.
So,
I'm sure he'll manage that. Yeah,
He'll miss his mother's food, I'm sure, though.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want
But
to
I'm
unpack
sure,
Tessa while you're here. Just sorry, Terry, on it with Tessa because I know you're busy. I know you've just hauled out a boat, correct?
sorry. Yes, that's why I'm sitting under a tree.
Oh, beautiful, busy day. So where are you,
Hey,
Tessa?
Busy
sitting
day.
under a tree is very good for you.
It's really relaxing, yes.
Yeah.
I'm in Topola at the moment, so we're at Nani Key. Yeah,
Beautiful. Oh, nice
yeah,
time of year as well.
it's beautiful,
And
yeah.
how's the
Can't
cooking
complain.
going?
Good, I'm really enjoying it actually.
Well done.
So that's a very different role, but
Yeah,
I'm happy. Now I've done all three departments,
yeah,
which is
no
cool.
problem. And
Yeah.
mate, I just spoke to our chief stewardess this morning, and I gave her your resume again. So you never know, Tessa. You never know our
Thank
future,
you. You never
And
know.
how's your partner?
He's good. Yeah, he's dealing with the boat now. Um,
Yeah.
it's
It's a
nice to
captain's
see him in
job.
a
He's the
captain's
captain on board,
job.
correct?
Yes, he's the captain. But no, he is enjoying it. He is also my part-time dishwasher, which is an
Okay.
adjustment for him.
Well, tell him congratulations, but tell him not to bring his problems home. You know,
Oh
don't
yeah,
bring your captain problems home.
don't bring your captain's problems home.
Yeah,
Bring them
you're not the
there.
captain. My wife told me that advice years ago when I used to come home and organise all, and she's like, "You're not the captain here." I'm like, "Fair enough, fair enough,
Fair
fair enough.
enough.
Oh, fair enough. Know your place, know your place." So I want to
Yeah.
talk about stress eating because
Mm.
you brought that up on a recent post, Tessa, and Terry. So you're aware, a lot of times on yachting, what happens is you don't have time to eat, and this sounds wrong. And the food, you don't have a choice of the food you're eating. So Tessa's made a big movement to push people for knowledge about what they eat and why and how it affects your body. So can you unpack stress eating a little bit for us? Because I'm really interested
And
in this one.
it's great that we have a psychologist on board too, because
Oh.
it's so interlinked, nutrition
It is
and
so interconnected,
psychology.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. That's why it's so complex. But just background from me, I think when I was 10 to 26, I had like a binge eating disorder, which I've now overcome recently. And I've noticed it, thank you, so much in yachting. Um, Emotional eating, binge eating, it's a coping mechanism, same as drinking, or essentially the same thing. It's just your kind of medium that you choose. And yachting it's everywhere. There's so much food available. Even if you like maybe not getting enough time to eat at lunch, you've got a crew mess full of everything and anything that you want. And then we also are away from home. We're away from home comforts. We're very stressed. Sometimes we can feel isolated. So it's often just a very way to cope with any
And
sort of negative
is
feelings.
it psychological, like, dopamine and all these things? It's a signal
Hmm.
that's sending your body to get the dopamine from food. Is that how it works?
And like, for instance, if you're not fueling yourself correctly, if you may be fasting in the morning or not having breakfast, but you find yourself like reaching into the cookie jar just before lunch, it's because you haven't fueled yourself properly. Your blood sugar levels are probably very low. Then obviously you probably most likely stressed on board, and it's
Yeah.
quite easy to reach for things. And sugar and processed foods do give us a quick dopamine hit, and we just need to teach our bodies that we need to honor delayed gratification when it comes to food, and also planning. Have your breakfast, wake up 10 minutes earlier. It might be annoying when you're doing back-to-back charters, but in the long run, it's going to make a huge difference on your mental health
Yeah.
and your physical health.
I'll be 100% vulnerable. That's one of my biggest challenges personally is stress eating, because as a captain, you're on the bridge, you're dealing with a lot of things. You don't usually eat at the meal times on board. You always skip them. So you're only eating when you've got time, and I eat too quick and I eat the wrong things probably because it
Yeah.
calms me down. The dopamine is not the happiness. It's something, I don't know, it gets me,
It's
it
just
does,
taking
but
your mind off of whatever is going on for a second while you're tasting that food.
yeah.
And then it gives you that glucose spike as well. But it inevitably crashes if you're not eating
Yeah.
correctly and you're not eating
Yeah.
fiber
Yeah.
and protein
Terry,
along
this
with it.
generation, even my son is 17, was telling me about, processed carbs and not and complex carbs, and the complex carbs live longer in your intestines. So the
That's so
probiotics get the
great.
nutrients for intestines. I'm like, you go, son, you go. Like,
Yeah. But just a note on that, it's amazing the younger generation, or the generation of now, the greenies. Cameron was a little overweight as a teen. And obviously, when the hormones kicked in and he realized, he needed to do something about his body, he lost something like 20 kilos in about 3 months.
wow.
Put himself to gym and eating correctly, and he's maintained that. He's very conscious of what he puts into his body. But obviously, like you make mention, Tess, is that when you're on the go, you miss that meal, and then you binge eat quickly, and then you're off again, which isn't the healthy, for the glucose spikes and all of that.
Well, plus the
Yeah,
chef makes great cookies and muffins on board Unbridled, so it's like, please, not another, you know. And they sit right near the bridge, so I'm like, okay, I'll just have one muffin.
I have
Okay,
to
that'll
have
get me
one.
through a couple of hours. So
I know we need to remind ourselves we can literally, when we're on land, the frequency of having freshly baked pastries on board is, I mean, at home is quite rare. So
yeah,
on
Yes,
board, remind yourself that I
true.
can have this every day and only
yeah,
have it in moments where you really, really want it, not just because it's there.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. There's his
mm,
latest
true.
posts that do like it shows three things, like an apple or something, a sandwich, and a burger, and it says, okay, once a day, once a week, once a month. And I was like, that's a
Mm,
good analogy to stay healthy, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
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 I've learned that, like, yeah, you shouldn't also restrict yourself completely, right? Like, unless, sometimes there are certain situations where it is necessary for whatever reasons, health reasons, or, but in general, if you're in good
Imbalances.
health, like, because this creates like this really unhealthy relationship with food. And by the end of the day, like,
yeah.
no food is necessarily bad for you. It's just when you go into extremes and you want to just space it out and you don't want to, yeah, you want to have a cookie every now and then. That's healthy. That's okay. But yeah, it's definitely, we get this rush of like just enjoyment in a situation where, you had a long day, you have like 2 minutes to actually relax for a moment. You want to feel something,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
good. You just want to feel something good for a moment. And
Mm-hmm.
like whatever is there in reach, food provides us with that. So, for me, also when I work with people, it's like, to learn where else you can get your dopamine from. Like maybe
Mm.
just listen to music, maybe go for a, I don't know, walk just for 5 minutes,
Ah,
be outside for a moment. So you get your dopamine out of more sustainable resources, what works for you and the program and the boat and everything, and depending on your current situation, instead of going for alcohol or like junk food or
yeah.
binge eating, all of that, or whatever else like there is, that's doom scrolling, right? So to switch that. So it is harder, but it is more sustainable in long term, just like the nutrition,
Mm,
which is such an important thing. Like these
Yeah.
go hand in
absolutely.
hand
Yeah,
insanely.
Yeah.
I think there's a Netflix series that I'm a Netflix show that I'm halfway through called The Gut or something, and that's where I learned, also about the complex carbs and how it
Mm.
takes longer in your whole system to go through to get the probiotics fed. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm. Well, they say your brain, there's a brain in your gut, as well. So for your mental health, your gut needs to be healthy as well. Have you
Yeah, but
heard
what?
that? I
Yeah,
think,
so that comes from, I mean, your gut. Yeah, they do call it the brain gut axis, but 95% of your serotonin is found in your gut. Serotonin is similar to dopamine, so it gives you that feel good feeling. So if you have a bad gut health, your serotonin synthesis or the way it's being produced is going to also be disrupted. So it is extremely important to feed your gut. And I mean, even if you take something like drinking and you get like anxiety the next day, alcohol kills the good bacteria in your guts. And that's one of the contributors towards those negative feelings, along with other things like
Yeah.
in your brain and the dopamine levels as well.
Can you test your the in your gut? Can you test what's the levels of? You talked about probiotics and things
The
like that.
bacteria.
Is it from a stool test
Yes,
or is it?
yes, it'll be a stool test. So you can go
Fascinating.
in depth with that. But I think we also tend to overcomplicate it. If
Mm.
you're looking at most people aren't getting enough fiber, probiotics and prebiotics in. So if you
mm,
start there slowly, there should be a bit of an improvement.
Yeah.
And then also just like pinpointing what I'm actually working with a client at the moment. She's got discomfort within the gut, so we're trying to pinpoint what actual foods are impacting her because everyone is very different and everyone reacts to foods very differently. So it's quite a long process to pinpoint various foods that could help your gut or improve your gut health, but it is worth it in the long run.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we just had
absolutely.
you talk about the rewards. We had Captain Jeff on just recently, this morning, and he's like, I said, "What do you run in the morning?" He goes, "I run so I can eat whatever I want." So it's you talk about the psychological, you talk about the physical and the body, but the
Mm,
actual activity level is probably to me one of the most important aspects. So it's yoga,
mm.
movement, flow, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm. I agree.
And
Thank
fantastic.
you.
No problem. We're going to wrap it up here. Do any of you have any other questions or feedback or?
Hmm. Thank you. Can I get Cameron to reach out to you?
Yeah, no stress. Either of us. Don't be shy. You know. Yeah, because I
Thank you
think
very much.
the
Thank you.
future of yachting is in Cameron's hands. Tessa and Yannette are in the peak of their career in a sense because they're young, mature, positive, presentable ladies, and they're developing their career in a positive way and growing their brands, and that's a beautiful sign of yachting. But people like Cameron, that's why I cherish the opportunity to work with younger crew because it's like that's in 10 years they'll be in situations like in Tessa and Janette, role.
Wonderful.
Oh, Terry. Anyway, Tessa, is there
Sorry.
anything else you want to? No stress. I mean, you can leave if you want, Terry, or we're going to
Thank
end it
you.
soon. All right,
Okay.
love.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for the awesome work. And I'll get everybody to, Cameron to reach out to everybody. And I enjoy listening to you. It's not the first time.
Okay,
So
I'll keep
thank you.
my eyes out for you as well. Say hi to Cameron, and thank you
I'll
very
do
much,
so.
Terry, for
Thank
joining.
you. Ciao, everybody. Great work.
Bye
Bye.
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 Wow, a mother's love, hey? You
Yeah.
can't get rid of
Yeah.
it. That was beautiful. I'm waiting for my mum to jump on soon now.
Oh.
Hello, there's Christina Diaz Silva just joined as well. There's been a lot of people joining in the crowd.
Oh,
Charlie
lovely.
Jackson, anyone else? But I'm really blessed to have you two here from a psychological point of view and from a
Mm.
dietitian physiological point of view, correct?
Yeah,
More or less.
definitely.
So what are the good things that are happening you're seeing in yachting? What's the positive trends?
People, I think, are definitely seeing it as more of a balance between lifestyle, unless I've just immersed myself in that community. But when I joined
In a little
yachting, I don't
bubble,
know.
right? Where you just
Yes,
consume all the things that support what you're doing. Yeah.
exactly.
Ah,
I
good point.
think when I joined it, it was very much like party, 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 which it
Yeah.
very much still is. But I do think, and maybe it's because I am so open about it online, but people are more interested in how can I actually make the most of this industry because there's more to life and the yachting world to just going out with crew and partying. Like we're in the most beautiful places. Let's travel. How can I challenge myself physically on board? How can I challenge the concept of my nutrition on board and that sort of thing, which I think it's amazing. And
Yeah.
the
Well,
people
I'll
I've
give
worked
you
with have,
the
yeah.
other side. I think social media is a good tool. We saw a mother that's now she's happy. She listens to these live check-ins, and she's got a son, and so there's positives. But I'm in a lot of captains groups, and there's this negative tone of crew on their phones, and I'm like,
Mm.
and you see crew posting on board boats and different platforms, and I'm like, I don't know. What's your take in that? Positive or negative?
I think it could be both, honestly. I
Yeah.
think there needs to be that aspect of confidentiality on board and like respect for the vessel and the crew. And I post of me doing things on board as long as the crew and everyone's fine with it and you're not posting guests and telling
Mm.
secrets and that sort of thing and keeping it professional.
Yeah.
And not, yeah, the job
But I
doesn't
think,
stop for social
from a mental
media.
health perspective, though, Yannette, I think it's positive. I'm with you, Tessa. I understand and agree with you. But I think it's a
Mm,
connection that the crew now have with Starlink to the outside world.
yes.
Like, even when people are like, why do people treat it so different? Just because it's a yacht, it's still a job, and you're still a human
It's
being,
still a
and
job. Yeah.
you
Mm,
need your connections, and it also,
Yeah.
what I think,
100%. Yeah. And I think like
you
that's
filming yourself working tells a story, and you share it with your friends or online.
yeah. And it's like it's a way to reach because like it's very effortful, right, to talk one on one to each friend, to each each family member, whatever. But like if you're posting something and like they are all on your social media, they see what you're up to, they kind of know where you are and stuff like that. Like I think social media has two sides, right? Really need to know
mm,
how, like everything really, like you need to know how to use it for your advantage. And like it's good the industry is getting more exposure and like what it's like, what it's actually like, so also maybe I don't know, maybe there's more content on also what the job is actually like. So new people who are coming in, they don't have like this
Yeah.
like a false idea of what it's gonna be like.
True.
Yeah, but also people can see what's up. And for example, when I'm working on a boat, I'm actually really bad with social media. Like I don't really like. I don't think I have very few work related content because I just don't have energy for that.
Yeah.
So I never do it.
Yeah.
I'm like I've been also like a cook too, and then I've kind of moved into being in a cruise chef. So I just don't want to. Like,
Is that
I
your
don't wanna-
role? Is that what you do as a cruise chef?
yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. We
Yeah,
might be
so I
looking
think
for one as
actually me
well.
and Tessa have pretty similar like
Yeah,
movement there in
because
yachting. Like, yeah, because
it's
Tessa, I've been actually, I'm very excited to meet you, by the way, because I've been following you
oh
since I started with the Crew Wellbeing Hub, or like
yeah.
started posting about mental health and stuff. And yeah, you just moved into cooking, right? So
Yes.
I think that's very cool because mine was kind of going like that, and my last job was a cruise chef on a 65-meter. So going from like a 24-meter sailing boat as a cook to a 65, like cooking for 16 to 20 crew was like, yeah, it's been a process,
Big
but
job.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah.
Tessa's like,
Amazing.
you're not listening to my post. I'm just going to do it myself. Okay, I'm going to cook the food myself. I'm going to show you.
I'm just gonna cook up for myself.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
but that's actually one of the things that I loved about like being the chef on board or like cooking for the crew. I can actually make food that makes me feel good. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a control over what I'm eating, and I love
I agree.
it.
Yeah. Well, we're
Yeah.
in
I
winter
mean,
mode on Unbridled, so a lot of crew have been cooking at different phases. And myself and the chief engineer, we enjoy cooking. He enjoys doing the meat, or smoking it or whatever. And I enjoy vegetables. Like I love broccoli. I love sweet potatoes. So, but it's always I do a meat, a veg, salad, and then either a carb. But even the carbs, the crew are getting more and more aware to cut the carbs out.
mm,
Which is great. You see, they don't eat the bread or they don't eat the pizzas. They go towards a
Yeah,
salad or a beetroot
that's
yeah.
feta
perfect.
walnut salad. It's like cool. We're getting there.
Mm.
Yeah, rice. I feel like rice and potatoes are always.
Yeah, they love that. Anyway, I better go because I'm going to jump on a call here in about 2 minutes. But I really appreciate your time,
Thank you so
Tessa.
much.
Thank you for
Sorry, I'm so
scraping out
late.
some time, and I really look forward to seeing you and speaking to you more often. Janette, pleasure to speak to you again, and you're welcome back
Mm.
anytime on the Check-in Tuesday. And this has been a busy one. We had 5 people on today.
Yeah.
But have a wonderful day and look after
Thank
yourselves. And thank
you.
you once again.
You too. Thank you so much for
Bye.
having us.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you for
Bye-bye.
having us. Bye.
Pleasure.
Bye.